Hi, welcome to the Art of Health podcast. It's a place where business leaders and health professionals share their insights and their often hard-earned successes with us. It's short, it's to the point, enjoy. Hi, Rob here from the Art of Health. Today I'm going to be quite brief. I would like to talk about doing your best. I know it's what your mum used to say to you, do your best now. But it's only really recently, in the past few years since I've been studying well-being and health, that I've realised what valuable, fabulous advice that is. I maybe told it to my children, I certainly say it to my grandchildren now, but now I see the reasoning behind it. To actually do your best at something sets off so many good things in your life and your relationships with people. I'll give you an example. Give you a couple of examples. I love doing this kind of thing. I love having ideas and being a bit visionary and talking to people, that sort of thing. But I'm not very good at admin, at office work. Now, for years and years, I would always procrastinate, put it off and not do it very well. And as a result, my business would often suffer because I wasn't keeping up with things. Now, this is what I do. When I know I've got to do it. I know I have some administration work to do, invoicing and that kind of thing. I set aside a certain time on a certain day, and in that time, I set about doing it as well as I possibly can and just getting on with it and enjoying the process of doing something as well as I can. And it's made such a difference also by setting a time when I'm going to do it and a time limit. It makes me work a bit faster and get on with it. But I actually enjoy it. It's a pleasant thing to do now. Well, maybe not pleasant, but I don't hate it anymore. So if you're doing some work that you're not that keen on, a way to change that feeling of wishing you weren't there and that sort of thing, is to do whatever you're doing as well as you possibly can. You can always tell the person on the till when you go to a checkout who's happy, the one who looks you in the eye and says good morning or good afternoon, just passes the time of day with you very briefly. And they have made themselves happy by doing the best that they can in that job. Some companies have that culture. They train the staff, to the public-facing staff, to be like that. But what it does, it makes the customers happy, it makes the people they're talking to happy, and it makes them a lot happier in the work. And it raises the feeling of the workplace. I studied the Science of Wellbeing. I graduated last year in 2019, no, 2 years ago, from Yale University with a certificate. And one of the scientifically proved ways of raising people's mood was to strike up a conversation with a stranger. The experiment they did was people went on bus journeys and they were instructed, these were the people who were taking part in the experiment. They were instructed to sit next to someone and strike up a conversation. You can imagine, you don't really want to talk to the person next to you sometimes. So the person they sat next to might be going, oh God, I hope they don't speak to me. And the person who's instructed to do it is feeling a bit tense about it. And they would talk for at least 2 minutes. That was the idea, at least 2 minutes. And then they interviewed them afterwards, and they interviewed them a week or so later. Not only did the people who'd struck up the conversation feel better, did it raise their mood, make them feel more positive and happier, but the people who they'd struck the conversation up with, the people who didn't want to be spoken to, please don't speak to me, they actually engaged with them. Now, the effect it had, they spotted who they were and they went and interviewed them briefly. In every single case, the person who was spoken to briefly by a stranger felt better and felt more alive. So I'm getting slightly off the subject of doing your best here, but if you were to do your best to be a nice person to strangers, that would improve your mood and the mood of the people you're talking to. there's lots of there's a lady called Gabby Bernstein, who's brilliant. She's a visionary. I've seen her on Oprah and on one or two other things, but she's got loads of videos on YouTube. And she says this, she says, if fun is your only objective, then you can't fail. So it's all about enjoying what you do, smiling. And even if you don't really enjoy it, do it your best and you'll find that you do start to enjoy it. So if you make enjoying yourself the objective, anything you want could be yours, anything you wanted to do. And this stuff works. I mean, this works so well. So, I'm going to finish off with a couple of quotes here. This is a poster that was on my that my daughter has on her wall at home. I'll just quickly show you. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'll tell you what it says. It says, it's about cameras, but it was obviously written when people put films in cameras, which you may or may not remember depending on your age. Life is like a camera. Just focus on what's important. Capture the good times. Develop from the negatives. There's the film part of it. Develop from the negatives. And if things don't turn out, take another shot. That's such good advice. So do your best. Negative things happen. Develop from them. Use them. You're moving along if you follow that advice. Capture the good times. Develop from the negatives. And when things don't turn out, take another shot. Do it again. Brilliant advice. And the final person I'm going to quote, this could spark a conversation for another day actually. Jeff Bridges, who's he's a very well-known Hollywood actor. He said, we're here for such a short period of time. Live like you're already dead, man. Have a good time. Do your best. Let it all come ripping right through you. And I'll close on that. Let it all come ripping right through you. Do your best. Live your life and enjoy it. Make people happy. Thanks a lot. If you'd like to connect with me, you can download my Breakfast of Brilliance, which is inflammation-busting brain and body food. And by doing that, you'll be able to connect with me, and there's all sorts of other health and well-being things which I may be able to help you with. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Speaking from the banks of the Lancaster Canal. It's such a beautiful, peaceful place, this. I hope you've enjoyed this little missive today. Bye for now. Cheers. Bye. Thanks for checking out the Art of Health podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes, subscribe, rate us, and leave a review, and I'll love you forever. And if you'd like to try my energy-boosting, inflammation-busting, brain and body food breakfast, head over to www.breakfastofbrilliance.com and download the recipe today. See you soon. Bye.